Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up? Welcome back in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby. Let me fix my hat. Well, we're talking about the West Virginia Mountaineers again today on the football side because it's football season, of course, man. What else would we be doing? All right, so let's talk about the channel sponsor really quick. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Game Time. And when we talk about Game Time, we talk about saving money, baby. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. My internet's been wonky, man. I don't know if it'll go click on me again here on this stream. I really don't. So we can just hopefully don't even do it, Shaq. Hopefully the janky internet's better. Right. Exactly. We'll see if it holds up. It says it's got a great connection for now. All right. So report from Pete Nakos earlier saying West Virginia predicted to get transfer Olu. Let me get his full name here. I had it set up to where, hold on. Let's see. Do I have it? Nope. Okay. Hold on. I have it. I had it. Olu Omatosho, I guess is how you would say it. He's a defensive end / outside linebacker. He's been a bit nomadic throughout his career, let's just say, but started out Wyoming where he had just an insanely good redshirt freshman season, and I'm talking about insanely good. I watched his tape. We're going to watch a little bit of him. There's not much out there, but he's got high school tape, which you can watch. But, I mean, he's older now, so it really does no good. And so, according to Pete Nakos, will join West Virginia for his final year of eligibility. I believe personally that this is probably in case Jamori Robinson isn't available, this is probably what this is for. This kid can get after the quarterback. We'll watch a little bit on him, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I'll give you guys my opinion on him. So I watched the video where he ran a 4.7 40-yard dash. That's extremely good for a pass rusher. He redshirted in 2020 at Wyoming due to the COVID-19. So this is one of those guys that kind of slipped through the cracks as a COVID recruit, right? He broke out as a redshirt freshman in 2022 before committing to Oregon State in 2023. And he chose them over us and Virginia Tech, Houston, Indiana, Washington State. And he was in Corvallis for 2 years, but saw limited production, which has led to him to re-enter the transfer portal. And recent reports indicate he's expected to land at West Virginia, which we just talked about. So here's the thing. His time at Oregon State was marked by pretty underwhelming production if you look at it compared to his breakout year at Wyoming. Well, that's because of injuries, guys, of course. And also the scheme wasn't really right for him. I think the scheme we run is much better for what he does well. And he had high expectations as a pass rush specialist and was expecting to replace departing seniors at Oregon State. Sandberg, Cody Anderson, that really good team they had that went to the playoff. I think it was the playoff or close to it. Or at Oregon State where they were really good. Then all of a sudden they got kicked out of the FBS, which is wild. But he's had nagging injuries since 2024 season. So that's unfortunate, right? And Oregon State's defensive line and linebacker units are supposedly deep right now. So they've got like James Rawls, who's got another year, Mason Tafuga, who's got another year. So it looks like they may be eating into those opportunities of his. Although it said, I read in a bunch of places he was expected to make a major impact this year. So his stats reflect that he just didn't have the season he had like in Wyoming where he had 46 tackles and 7 sacks. He's had 4 tackles and 1 sack in 7 games since 2023. 14 tackles, 1 sack in 9 games in 2024, and just not a lot of playing time. So reports suggest he needs a fresh start. He's 6'2", 256. He's up about 15 pounds. Listen, he's a pretty versatile edge defender. He's definitely best suited as a stand-up outside linebacker, hand of the dirt defensive end, possibly in a four down outside backer or end or 3-4 hybrid sit scheme. His primary strength is pass rushing, where he uses a really quick first step. He's got great explosiveness to bend and get around tackles. He's got really good length for his frame, which has allowed him to disengage from blockers. He's got super active hands too. If you look, he's really active with it, so he can do that and generate pressure. In run defense, he's pretty solid at setting the edge, but definitely not elite against bigger offensive linemen. I would expect him to do it in the Big 12. He's definitely shown flashes of coverage ability, though. So he's more like the pass rusher coverage type. And I think that makes him pretty flexible. His weakness definitely is that he's got an inconsistent motor on every down and probably needs a better counter for moves off the initial speed rush. When he gets stalled off that initial speed rush, you see him get washed out quite a bit. Overall, though, he's a very high upside depth piece with proven production, and in the right system, he's a guy that can get you 5 or 6 sacks. If he's 100% healthy, he's got the ability to get you 5 or 6 sacks. So that's a major impact guy, right? It just depends. You know, I did do a soft edge meter for him. So is he hard edge is the question we all want to know. So my evaluation of him as an outside rusher linebacker prospect based on my film study, his highlights, and some scouting reports that I've read from his Wyoming days where he flashed that real NFL potential has been tempered, obviously, by the recent dips in production. So we have to temper our expectations here. But overall, what I've got is athleticism / bend. He ran a 4.740. So I give that an 8.7 out of 10. And when you look on film, he's got good explosiveness. He's got good flexibility and dip under tackles. Although his numbers don't show it, those are injuries that hurt him bad. First step and speed is 8.2 out of 10. Very quick off the snap with solid burst. Like I said, timed in the 4.7s, which helps him win on the edge. Not elite top end speed, but definitely very good. Power and strength is at about a 7.1. He's got adequate bull rush. He sets the edge adequately. He can definitely set it against the run. He did it in both places, but he can get washed out by stronger linemen, as I said. So he's going to need to add some weight possibly to help him anchor in the Big 12. His technique and hand use, I give him about a 7.3 out of 10. He's got active hands to swipe, rip, club, swim, whatever you want, but he definitely lacks, at least from the tape study I found, that advanced counter moves that you see from a Jamoy Robinson, for instance. His instincts and overall run defense, I give him a 7.2 out of 10. He's got solid pursuit, and he's got some good gap discipline as well. He's got a pretty good high football IQ as well in pass rush lanes. But, man, he's pretty average in diagnosing plays, in my opinion, for a total composite score of 38.5 out of 50. So he's definitely not soft edge, but he's not hard edge yet. He's right there in the middle point. I think this is a low risk, high reward transfer. If he turns back into his Wyoming form, you're talking about a guy that can possibly be first or second on your team in sacks. If he gets injured like he has been the last 2 years, then you're talking about a guy that's a depth piece that maybe gets you 2 sacks, right? So there is a pretty big disparity between the two. I certainly don't think he's a bad player, guys. We'll watch the tape really quick on just a couple plays because that's all there is available, unfortunately, right now. And then we'll get over to the Nico Marielle talk because we got to talk about what Nico Marielle said today. He believes he can be a 1,000-yard rusher in this offense. That's exciting. So as you can see here, nice size kid. Definitely got some advantages to him when it comes to that. I definitely think he's somebody that can make an impact for West Virginia. There's no doubt. So, all right, let's go to, let me see. Let me find it. I think it's maybe here. So here's one play, and here you can see here, he's definitely a well-built kid, right? I mean, there's no doubt that he has some talent. he is against Stanford. So you judge him against the left tackle from Stanford. This is just one play, but I think it gives you it's a great look into his overall explosiveness and ability. That's exactly what he does well, coming off the edge. I mean, that's guys. I mean, that looks like an NFL player, right? Coming off the edge with the hands, the speed with which he does it. That'll work. But unfortunately, there at Oregon State, he just didn't get enough opportunities due to those injuries. If he can be that guy, if he can be that right there, he'll help us big time. I just don't know if he can be. Here he is in high school. You get a
Some things out of my control.
Let me get that off of there before I get hemmed up. I mean, he definitely was under recruited. Here he's at middle linebacker. As you can see, that 4.7 speed showing up pretty early on film, huh? I would have been excited about this kid. I mean, look at that. How does this guy end up at Wyoming? You know, like he definitely had a lot of potential coming out. There's no doubt. It just makes you wonder. COVID era guys, man, they got overlooked in a lot of cases. This is a guy that should have definitely been at a power four spot, you know, but he didn't. He just got overlooked because of COVID. But as you can see, he's got a great first step. He's got elite burst, and he does a lot of great. He does a lot of great things as a pass rusher, coming off the edge. I mean, he can really run. So, you know, this is somebody I think as West Virginia fans we should be excited about. I mean, look where he's come, guys. He's come from where this is in 2018. He said, "Going to leave this here. I'll be back." And I mean, he wasn't lying, right? He definitely put a lot of muscle on. So, you know, look, he's already got West Virginia football underneath here. That's got to be breaking news. Like, I don't know how long that's been there, but I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, to be honest. But I mean, he's got West Virginia football under there. We might as well just call it. That's a commitment, right? I would say live on the air. I don't know how long it's been there. Maybe it's been there all day, and somebody could definitely clarify. But you know, I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and post it really quick while we're live on the air because I think why not at least put it out there? You never know. Maybe people um haven't. I don't know if there's anything come down about it yet. He certainly has W as his school on his page. LOL. So we'll see what happens here, y'all. That seems like a commitment to me. So looks like we got him. We'll definitely keep an eye on it and see what happens out of it. I wonder if Pete Nakos just happened to run across this. I wonder, you know, he probably knew. Anyways, guys, let's jump off of here. And what we'll do now is we'll go to break. We'll come right back. We'll talk about Nico because man, we got some good stuff out of him today. We'll talk about it next. And of course, this episode of Lockdown West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Game Time. We talk about Game Time because when it comes to logging on early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale only to lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see, that hurts. Live music should be about making memories and not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping. That's where Game Time comes in. It makes concert tickets easier and faster than ever, and prices actually drop as it gets closer to game time or show time as you save up 60% to get those killer last minute deals. You want a panoramic view? Well, Game Time can do that for you. This app shows you that in the app before you buy. No surprise fees or what you're buying at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying concert or show tickets today with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms are going to apply here, but if you create the account, redeem the code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off today, and download the Game Time app where you get the lowest prices. Again, that's guaranteed, and you'll answer yourself the question of all questions. What time is it? It's game time. Breaking news. we have a committed Beaver crossing over into Appalachian territory. West Virginia signs an outside linebacker out of the portal late in the game at that, and I'm sure it's probably a little bit of a measure just in case Jamori Robinson's not eligible. It's segment 2. Of course, we have to crack a do. Yeah, I know it's corny. But that's okay. It's what makes me me. People can like it, make fun of it, whatever you want to do, whichever's good for you, I suppose. Nico Marielle. Let's get to the tape. What did he say today, man, that made me so excited? Oh, man, it made me so excited. I was sitting here just daydreaming about the possibility.
When this offense was at its best, Pat White was rushing for 1,500 yards.
Yes, sir.
When this offense was at its best, Pat White was rushing for 1,500 yards, and he said, yes, sir.
Is there a 1,000-yard rusher in you, do you think?
Is there a 1,000-yard
yes,
rusher
sir.
in you?
You'd like to think so.
Well, I know there is. Yes, sir.
How can they get that out of you? What should they get that out of you?
Well, just playing within the system and playing the play that's called. You know, when I have my chance to run, I'm gonna get every piece of yardage that I can get, and then hustle back, sprint back to the ball, and I'm gonna run the next play. If it's another quarterback run, then I'm gonna run just as hard as I did the last play.
When this offense was at,
That's what we like to see, you know. Nico Marielle sounding confident. That's what we need, right? So happy to see that. Let's get over Nico's page. All right. There it is. All right. So, you know, like this is our guy, right? You know, like, I mean, just look at him. Look at him run against Texas Tech, right? And then he does that dance, baby. How many times are we going to see that this year? Oh man, we might piss off some folks this year if he does that, you know. Obviously Nico can really go. I think this is one of the best examples here of what Nico
West Virginia.
At West Virginia for sure as a runner. Let's speed it up a little bit. So against Pat White, with Rich Rod's system, can he be great? I think he can be as a runner for sure. I'm not worried about Nico as a runner. I've said that multiple times. I just wonder about him as a passer some. And I hope he proves, not that I don't think he can be good. His release it's looking it's looking great, you know. Good velocity on the ball for sure. I mean, that's what we need. I just need to see him go downfield with balls, you know. Unfortunately, at West Virginia, all his passes would look like that right there. They're 7 to 8 yards out. So that's kind of what I want to see out of him. I want to see him toss him deep, just like this. Those are the kind of balls we want to see him throw. And if he can do that, and by the way, the catch, watch this get snagged out of the air. That's a good catch, man. At arm's length right there. Nice snag. It's hard to say who that is. It's probably Jaden Bray, but it's hard to tell. He definitely mentioned some receivers today as well. He mentioned Jaden Bray, Cam Vaughn, and then they kind of had to remind him about Rodney Gallagher, unfortunately, which I was hoping Rodney would be one of the people he spoke about. But that doesn't mean Rodney's not playing well. Is that a duck he threw right there? I'm curious. No, just a floater. Just a floater. Not a lot of velocity on it at all, right? And this is just not even – this is May 7th. Yeah, definitely got to have more velocity than that. But now these are the kind of throws we need him to make, right?
Bounce to balance. Good. Yeah.
So we'll see. That I want to see him get downfield, you know. I think that's the major thing with Nico's game that I need to see an improvement out of. And it's by far my biggest worry. We need a downfield passer at times, especially with the speed that we have. We know Jalen can throw a great deep ball. We've definitely seen that, right? Kevin, thank you for reposting the stream, by the way. So we'll just have to see what happens, right? I'm definitely not counting Nico out. As you guys know, I've backed off a little bit of my prediction for Jalen to be the starter. I've just, as the offseason has gone along, I've gained more confidence in Nico and more and more and more. I'm still 50-50 on it, to be totally honest. I still think it's wide open for both guys. But Nico, the fact that Nico is the first quarterback to come out and talk says a lot, right? But Rich Rod's not stupid. He knows how that's going to be perceived. So, you know, he's been very careful about what he says the entire time. So if somebody else was in the lead for this quarterback job, do you think they would be the first person he sends out, or do you think that he would send somebody else out to throw you off for that? I mean, it's, you know, once you start to think about it, it's like it can get overwhelming a little bit as far as like you start to overthink and outthink your own self. So for me, I'm just going to be on the side of err on the side of caution with this and say, I'm going to go ahead and say that Nico has a slight edge right now. They put the pads on starting tomorrow, right? I think it's tomorrow. They put the pads on this week for sure. And I think we're going to find out everything we need to know. Hopefully Rich Rod talks about it. I know he's going to get asked about it. Did you find out about your quarterback in pads? Because he's going to let the quarter, and I'm actually probably planning on doing a video about this tomorrow. Is it a smart decision for him to let them go live, or is it a risk? I think both questions are fair questions to ask. You know, I know nobody wants Rich Rod to be criticized, and I'm definitely not trying to do that. I'm just asking, is it safe to play your quarterbacks at full speed? And can you actually do what he's saying you can do in press conference, which is teach these guys not to thud? Let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll put a bow on this one. Stick around. This is Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by 5 Hour Energy, of course. We talk about 5 Hour Energy around here because you want it's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy shots transfusions. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor that you're looking for, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot, of course. So, whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, that's a hole-in-one on every play. Every single play and shot in the game. Let's be honest. Some days, of course, or off of it, on the course, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. What's the wildest shot you've made? I'm curious. Was it a fluke or a well-calculated miracle? Golf is all about the good times with good people and good flavors, of course. Grape ginger lime flavor leaves you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the Bev card. And if you need 5 Hour Energy today like I do, that's the number 5hourenergy.com. And you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF for 20% off your first order. It's only valid till September 30th and cannot be used with other promotions. All right, guys, we are back. Locked On West Virginia in segment 3. We're not going to stay long here in this one. Just want to put some final thoughts up here. So let me know down below. Could Nico Marielle rush for over 1,000 yards in this offense? And what could Jalen Henderson do in this offense? Who do you think is the better runner? Who do you think is the better thrower? Do you think Nico is both? I'm curious to know what you guys think, honestly, because I definitely think it's a close battle between these two guys. Don't let anybody get you twisted, man. Jalen Henderson can absolutely run with the rock and run with it well. He can. I mean, he's a great running quarterback, right? Let's check out some highlights from Jalen. We haven't watched any in a while. We may as well now, right? As you can see, man, he's got that quickness, right? I think that's something that Nico doesn't lack it. It's just he doesn't have as much quickness as Jalen does. And I think their top end speed is similar, but I think Jalen gets the top end speed faster, and Nico's a tougher runner. Get it? So they both have their own qualities. I'm so curious as to see. I bet Rich Rod's going to really find out what we got in both these guys over the next couple of days, and I think there's a chance Jalen, if he runs like this, where he makes these real quick decisions, and I mean, this right here is going to excite Rich Rod from a running quarterback standpoint. As you can see, he can really throw it downfield too. I'm just saying, like, I've given Nico a lot of love on the show the last several weeks. I don't want to forget about Jalen, right? I don't think the race is over. I definitely think Jalen deserves love as well, right? I think it's only fair. And let's not just be blind because Nico is our loyal guy. Like, he's been at West Virginia for years. He hasn't left us. He could have left us a bunch of times. Like, that makes me, along with a lot of us, very blind to the fact that he could lose this competition. If there's a guy that's better, he'll lose. But I'll tell you what I really think is going to happen. I think they're both going to play. I really do. I don't think we're going to have a guy by week 1 that's pulled away enough unless something happens this week. If something happens this week and somebody pulls away, we may not know about it. But if something happens this week and somebody pulls away, which very well could happen. See, Nico, these are the kind of plays here that Nico ain't going to make as well for us. Where you've got a guy in your face and you've got to make a quick cut out. That's not as much Nico's game as is the punishing run into that run. Like, now at the end of this run, I feel like in the same token, Nico may just run over this guy, right? So, and get you 10 more. So they have their differences, but with Nico, you may not have got that far to begin with. I think he may have got tied up early on this. It's hard to say, right? But I do think that Jalen's got a little more burst and acceleration. Speed is very similar. I give the toughness to Nico. Now, when you're talking about throwing the ball, man, is it close. It's really close between these guys. I think Jalen is a little bit more of a gunslinger than Nico. Nico is very much a system quarterback, at least at this point. And I really need to see him loosen up and like this right here. Nico doesn't have this kind of speed, guys. He's got speed, but he can't really chew dirt like this against SEC players like this. I mean, this guy's got some acceleration. I think a lot more than people realize. And I'm so excited to see what that looks like in West Virginia's offense. Now, and he's, as you can see here, he can dot it in there between the hashes too. I mean, look at this throw. Great throw to the outside. He had great players at Texas A&M too, though. I mean, you can't deny that. Athletes. I mean, look at that dot right there. That's a heck of a dot, against an SEC defense with a guy in his face. I mean, that's an excellent throw. So here he is against A&M. I mean, look at that. He's gone, right? So Jalen is going to be in this competition, and I don't even think he's going away, So every time I watch his highlights, I start to think, it's like this with both guys. I watch Nico's highlights, and I think, I don't know. I don't know if Nico can lose this job, like in other times I'll tune in and say, I don't know if Jalen can lose this job either, so. Go Birds. Well, then get on down the road, brother. I'm not your kind of guy. At the end of the day, I got 1 million views in December. So just because you ain't going to be one of them don't mean much to me, brother. Get on down the road. So at the end of the day, though, I think we're probably going to get both guys. Both guys are going to play, and we're going to see by the time Pitt rolls around, we'll probably have somebody carved out. Until then, man, I think we're probably in a competition, which is going to be rough. So we'll just have to continue to watch it and monitor it. I definitely love both guys and don't really have a favorite. I just have whoever makes West Virginia the best. That's what I have. So I appreciate you guys for joining in for sure. Can't thank you enough for all the things you guys do. All those that you are loyal, like there are hundreds of you guys watching right now. This guy, man, one of the WB burners they just love to chime in, don't they? They just love to chime in. They think they have some kind of opinion that matters. At the end of the day, they have no opinion that matters. He said, "You need help, man. This commentary is brutal. Just turn in to see where you get the hate. Still not sure, but damn, this analysis is abysmal." It's literally just another burner. It's literally probably one of the same five guys that always try to argue with me over things. The craziest stuff, man. Oh well. Joe Montana never threw a lot of deep balls, and yeah, that's totally different, Drum Wolf, in my opinion. I mean, he threw a ton of deep balls to Jerry Rice if you really go back and look. But I mean, he had the capability to open it up. You know what I'm saying? Also, we don't run the West Coast offense. It's two totally different things. But I mean, I appreciate your viewpoint on it. We'll see what happens. When you're a running football team, you have to be able to go downfield, right? You have to be able to go downfield. That's the only thing, right? So I think that's where I just wonder, because if you can't take the top off of defenses, they're going to sit in the box 8 or 9 deep like Pitt did, and absolutely shut down the run. You can't beat numbers, right? So I think really, yeah, it's right there. It's called Go Birds. It's in the X chat. It's over in the X chat. I don't even know how to honestly, I don't know how to. Let me see if I can. I don't know. Maybe you can't. You may not be able to. Might not be able to block those guys. Shaq, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, you probably did have them blocked already. That's why they're an X. You know what I mean? It's all good. I mean, it's not a big deal at all, really. He didn't really say anything that crazy. He just gave an opinion. I just know it's one of the burners, most likely. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining in. With those burners, man, they live in an echo chamber. Like I tell them all the time, they live in an echo chamber where they only hear each other's opinions. And then they come to me like, "You get so much hate." I'm like, "Where?" I don't see it because I have like 15 of them blocked or 20 of them blocked or how many it is now. For years, I didn't block them. And then I was like, man, all they do is blow up every comment section I'm in. They have no life. All they do, like even with business deals that I'm in, they try to jump in and say, "Don't do a business deal with this guy. He's a known felon, known drug addict." Like, you know what I mean? So I eventually had to. They're putting my address out to people. Like, it is what it is, like there's not much I can do about it. Like what I did with Josh Wolfe, to be honest with you, Huddy Tuddy, was somebody I know has a way to track that kind of stuff, right? So I just told him, "Hey man, this dude is aggravating me so much right now. Who is he?" And he found out. It was primarily easy. Apparently there are ways to do it. I have no clue, right? But so I almost doxed him, but I never did. And then he ended up switching anyways. So, but that was only because he just, it's a long story. You guys don't care about it. All right, y'all. I appreciate you for joining in. We will talk on another one. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the whole 9, and we'll be back later or tomorrow. If there's news, we'll come back later. If there's not, I'll see you tomorrow. And have a great rest of your evening, guys. I'm out of here.